holds landscapes that impress, not only because of their size, but because of what they reveal about the deep history of the Earth. These are places shaped with patience, where wind, water, and climate worked for centuries to form structures that still surprise us today. From rock towers pointing toward the sky to complex natural labyrinths, this journey invites us to slow down, to observe carefully, and to understand that exploring also means learning to listen to the landscape. Number 15. Ashisipa Valley, United States. In northwestern New Mexico stretches a territory that seems to belong to another world. Ashisipa Valley is an open setting where erosion has worked tirelessly for millions of years on layers of sandstone and clay-rich sediments. The result is a collection of slender, whimsical shapes that rise from the ground like silent natural sculptures. As one moves through this landscape, the terrain transforms into a succession of columns, towers, and balanced structures that change appearance with the light of day. Many reach several meters in height and appear to support large blocks at the top, creating a sense of delicate balance that surprises visitors. This visual continuity gives the impression of walking through an open-air gallery where each formation has its own personality. The connection between the different sections of the valley is felt in the repetition of colors and textures. Ochre, gray, and reddish tones blend beneath the open sky, reinforcing a sense of vastness. At sunrise and sunset, the light softens the contours and highlights the details of the terrain, offering a changing experience with every step. Exploring Ashisipa is an invitation to walk slowly and observe how the Earth expresses itself without haste. It is not just a remote desert, but a reminder that natural beauty can also arise from simplicity, silence, and the constant passage of time. Number 14. Enchanted city of Cuenca, Spain. In the mountain range of Cuenca lies one of the most distinctive geological landscapes on the Iberian Peninsula. The Enchanted City is an extensive collection of limestone formations shaped over millions of years by water, wind, and temperature changes. The journey through this natural space is a continuous experience of discovery. With every step, blocks of rock appear that resemble figures, objects, or impossible structures, creating a constant dialogue between the visitor's mind and the landscape. One of the most representative elements is the Tormo Alto, a vertical formation that rises in isolation and has become a symbol of the site. The connection between the different areas of the park is perceived in natural arches, narrow passages, and eroded walls that blend into the surrounding forest. Under the changing light of day, shadows cast on the rock create soft contrasts that enhance the feeling of walking through an almost unreal setting. Beyond its visual appeal, the Enchanted City helps explain how ancient seabeds gave rise to these structures. Exploring this environment is an opportunity to appreciate nature's patience and to understand that, even in silence, the landscape continues to tell deep stories to those who stop to listen. Number 13. Split Apple Rock, New Zealand. Off the coast of Abel Tasman National Park in northern New Zealand emerges a formation that stands out for its precise shape and serenity. Split Apple Rock is a massive, almost spherical granite boulder, divided into two halves by a vertical fracture that runs across its surface with striking regularity. The surrounding environment enhances its appeal. Turquoise waters, light-colored sandy beaches, and lush vegetation create a natural setting that invites contemplation. From the sea, the rock appears to float on the surface, conveying a sense of balance and calm that contrasts with its size, which spans several meters in diameter. The transition between the rock and the marine landscape is smooth and harmonious. Sunlight highlights the veins of the granite and clearly marks the line that divides the formation, reminding us that even the most solid materials change over time. This detail visually connects with the constant movement of the surrounding water, creating a scene in continuous transformation. Visiting this place is not just about observing a geological curiosity, but about experiencing the relationship between land and sea. Split Apple Rock shows that nature can create forms of remarkable precision without losing its organic character, offering an experience that encourages calm and mindful exploration. Number 12. Belogradchik Rocks, Bulgaria. In northwestern Bulgaria, near the border with Serbia, the landscape changes abruptly to reveal one of the most striking rock formations in Eastern Europe. The Belogradchik rocks rise above gentle hills and dense forests as a succession of natural towers, slowly shaped from reddish sandstones and mineral conglomerates deposited hundreds of millions of years ago. These formations reach heights of over 200 meters and extend for several kilometers, creating an uneven horizon that appears intentionally designed. As visitors move along the trails, the rocks take on shifting profiles. Some resemble human figures, others animals or architectural structures. An element that connects past and present is the Belogradchik fortress, integrated directly among the rock masses. Rather than imposing itself on the environment, the structure uses the natural walls as protection, showing how geology influenced the way people inhabited the territory. From elevated points, the view opens onto broad valleys covered in vegetation, where daylight transforms the rock's colors from deep red to soft gold. Exploring Belogradchik means walking between nature and memory. Each formation seems to tell a different story, inviting careful observation and an understanding of how landscape can become an essential part of a region's identity. On the vast plains of Nebraska, where the horizon is usually wide and continuous, a silhouette emerges that completely breaks the uniformity of the land. Chimney Rock rises as a natural column of clay and sandstone, reaching more than 90 meters above the surrounding valley floor. Its slender vertical shape makes it a landmark visible from great distances. This formation gained special significance during the 19th century, when travelers crossing the continent used it as a visual guide on their journey westward. That connection between landscape and orientation is still perceptible today. The experience of approaching Chimney Rock is gradual. From afar, it appears as a solitary spire. Up close, a wider, gently eroded base is revealed, blending into the surrounding prairie. Sunlight alters its color throughout the day, shifting from pale tones to warmer hues at sunset. Walking through this setting invites reflection on the relationship between open space and a fixed point. Chimney Rock does not dominate the landscape by size, but by its ability to focus the gaze, reminding us that even a single formation can give meaning to an immense expanse. Number 10. Garden of the Gods, United States. At the foot of the Pikes Peak Massif in Colorado lies a place where geology seems to express itself with exceptional visual force. The Garden of the Gods is a natural park characterized by massive red sandstone ridges that rise from the ground at steep angles, creating a striking contrast with the blue sky and surrounding vegetation. These structures formed from ancient marine sediments that, over millions of years, were folded and uplifted into their current position. The result is a series of walls, towers, and natural corridors that invite exploration from multiple perspectives. Each trail offers a different composition, where rock lines guide the eye toward new openings in the landscape. The connection between the formations and their surroundings is constant. In spring and summer, green meadows soften the intensity of the red. In winter, occasional snow adds an unexpected visual contrast. This seasonal variation makes each visit a distinct experience. Number 9. Lone Rock, United States. In the Glen Canyon area between Arizona and Utah stands a formation whose character changes with the level of the surrounding water. Lone Rock is a massive sandstone block that can appear as an isolated island or as a dominant rise above open terrain, depending on environmental conditions. This duality gives it a special presence. When surrounded by water, its reflection creates a serene, balanced image. When water levels drop, its full base is revealed, showing the marks of time on its surface. Both situations offer different but equally striking visual experiences. The wide surroundings allow the rock to be viewed from multiple angles, reinforcing its role as a focal point in the landscape. At sunrise and sunset, colors soften and the silhouette stands out clearly against the sky, creating an atmosphere of calm and openness. Visiting this place is about experiencing how a single element can integrate into the landscape in different ways. Lone Rock does not impose itself. It simply remains, adapting to the natural cycles around it. Number 8. Old Man of Storr, Scotland. On the Isle of Skye, in northwestern Scotland, rises one of the most recognizable silhouettes in the British landscape. The Old Man of Storr is a volcanic rock pinnacle that towers over green hills and mist-covered slopes, creating a scene that seems to change constantly. Access to the site is part of the experience. As one ascends, the terrain opens up, revealing the contrast between the intense green of the ground and the dark rock projecting toward the sky. The transition between these elements enhances the feeling of entering a different space, almost suspended in time. From higher points, the view extends toward lakes, valleys, and the coastline, offering a broad panorama that connects land and sea. The light, especially in the early hours of the day, highlights the textures of the pinnacle and emphasizes its verticality. The Old Man of Storr stands out not only for its shape, but for the environment that surrounds it. Number 7. The Arch of Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. At the southern tip of the Baja California Peninsula, where two major bodies of water meet, a formation rises that marks the end of the continent. The Arch of Cabo San Lucas is a granite structure slowly sculpted by the action of the sea, creating a natural bridge that rises above clear waters. Approaching the arch from the water allows its true scale to be appreciated. The rock curves gently, revealing layers and textures that reflect centuries of interaction with the marine environment. Nearby sheltered beaches and smaller formations complete a balanced, harmonious landscape. At sunset, the light transforms the arch into a golden focal point that contrasts with the deep blue of the sea. This shift in color visually connects the surrounding elements, reinforcing the sense of a natural boundary. Exploring this place means understanding how the coast can become a meeting point between different forces. The arch is not just a recognizable form, but an invitation to observe the constant relationship between land and water. Number 6. Valley of the Moon, Chile. In the Atacama Desert, one of the driest environments on the planet, lies a valley where geology takes on surprising forms. The Valley of the Moon is characterized by sharp ridges, gentle dunes, and salt-covered surfaces that reflect light in unique ways. Traveling through this space reveals a succession of textures that change with the time of day. As one moves forward, the surrounding silence heightens perception of the landscape, allowing close observation of the rock's lines and folds. The connection between different areas of the valley is evident in the repetition of patterns and colors. At sunset, the valley transforms into a palette of ochre and violet tones that blend with the sky. This gradual transition invites pause and contemplation, turning the visit into a complete sensory experience. Number 5. Devil's Tower, United States. In northeastern Wyoming rises a formation that dominates the landscape with an imposing presence. Devil's Tower is a volcanic monolith composed of vertical basalt columns that rise more than 260 meters above the surrounding terrain. Its geometric form is striking for the regularity of the columns, which seem precisely carved. Walking around the base reveals the true scale of the structure and how it integrates with nearby forests and grasslands. The viewing experience changes with the light. During the day, shadows accentuate the vertical lines. At sunset, tones soften and the tower takes on a more serene character. Exploring this area is about understanding how a single element can define an entire landscape, becoming a visual and cultural reference over time. Number 4. Shiprock, United States. In northwestern New Mexico, a volcanic formation emerges that stands out for its isolation and verticality. Shiprock rises nearly 500 meters above the surrounding plain, accompanied by rock dikes that extend outward like petrified arms. The presence of this structure is noticeable from great distances, serving as a constant reference in the open landscape. As one approaches, the complexity of its lines and ridges becomes more apparent. At sunrise and sunset, light highlights the textures of the rock, creating soft contrasts that enhance its monumentality. The connection between sky and land is especially visible at these moments. Shiprock invites slow observation, where scale and silence allow an understanding of the geological force that shaped this environment. Number 3. Katskhi Pillar, Georgia. In a forested region of Georgia stands a limestone monolith about 40 meters high that seems to defy balance. At its summit sits a small structure that reinforces the uniqueness of the site. The pillar's verticality contrasts with the surrounding greenery, creating an image of isolation and calm. From below, the structure appears to float above the landscape, enhancing its exceptional character. The visual experience is completed by occasional mist that envelops the area, softening contours and creating a contemplative atmosphere. Katskhi is an example of how geology and human presence can coexist discreetly, offering a unique vision of the landscape. Number 2. Meteora, Greece. In the heart of the Thessalian plain, the land breaks unexpectedly and gives way to a landscape that seems to appear without warning. Massive sandstone pillars rise from the ground like natural columns, creating a scene that, even today, is difficult to fully grasp at first glance. Perched atop these stone giants, suspended between sky and earth, are ancient monasteries that seem to defy simple explanation. Walking through Meteora is an experience lived step by step. Nothing here feels forced. The buildings follow the logic of the rock, use its natural platforms, and blend into the landscape with surprising discretion. As the day progresses, light completely transforms the surroundings. At sunset, warm tones highlight the textures of the sandstone, while the green vegetation and monastery rooftops create a soft, balanced contrast. Silence, broken only by the wind, reinforces the sense of being in a place designed for pause. Meteora does not invite haste. It is a space best understood when observed calmly, where landscape and history converse quietly, offering a setting that naturally connects contemplation, environment, and experience. Number 1. Mount Roraima, Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana. At the point where 3 countries meet rises one of the oldest formations on the planet. Mount Roraima is a tepui with vertical walls exceeding 1,000 meters in height, creating an isolated plateau above the rainforest. The summit is a world of its own, with rocks shaped by rain and watercourses that cross its surface. The sense of isolation reinforces the feeling of being in a place apart, separated from the land below. From above, views stretch to the horizon, revealing the vastness of the landscape surrounding the plateau. The transition between rainforest and rock is clear and powerful. Roraima is not just a mountain, but a symbol of the planet's antiquity and of the Earth's ability to create unique spaces. Closing. These formations remind us that exploration is not only about arriving, but about observing, understanding, and respecting. Each landscape visited is a lesson in patience and transformation. If this journey has inspired you, join us on future expeditions. Tell us from which country you are watching and continue exploring with us the most extraordinary corners of the planet.